Got shut down on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. There are no educators. There are no real teachers. None. Public educators are gatekeepers and misinformers and disinformers. They lie, they cheat, and they steal for a living. They steal souls and they steal minds. Such good people. Public educators don't actually care about the outcome, the finished product. It's pass or fail, and apparently they're passing everybody these days. It's amazing. I don't know why people are concerned with academia when they're not even concerned with the language they speak. If you don't know what the words mean, how can you actually know anything? And no one's going to tell you what the words mean. It's not important.
Listen to what this man just said. Facts matter, Senator. Yeah. I mean, conspiracy theorists are up something like 37 to nothing. That clip is from the confirmation hearing for the FBI director. It's live right now.
You heard him. Conspiracy theorists are up 37 to nothing. That's called a skunk. Conspiracy theorists are up 37 to zippity doo dah. Nada. And that's a result of your public indoctrination system and political ideology that has no basis in reality. Is that true or a lie?
But that was funny. That was funny. Listen to what this man just said. Sounds to me like conspiracy theory. All the outcomes turned out to be true.
We need some new conspiracy theories because all the old ones turned out to be true. And the conspiracy theorists up 37 to nothing.
Facts matter, Senator.
I mean, conspiracy theorists are up something like 37 to nothing.
37 to nothing. You're getting
That
smoked.
clip is from the confirmation hearing for the FBI.
Holy shit. Trust any one of you? Nah. I'm a conspiracy theorist. And we're up 37 to nothing. According to Congress. Isn't that amazing? 37 to nothing. You can't even score a point. And that shit's getting old. How are you supposed to trust anyone when conspiracy theorists are up 37 to nothing? What do you do with that? There's no community online. Community's dead.
The uncanny valley is the region of negative emotional response towards robots that seem almost. The goal is not to be good all the time. The goal is to be God all the time. When you come to understand that the religious text is simply an allegory of you, you immediately understand why God never destroys the devil. You cannot destroy one without destroying the other because they make up the all. Therefore, spirit is masculine and feminine, yin and yang. Spirit and soul, heart and mind. And further, it is light and dark, up and down, positive and negative.
Ah. Ugh. It's amazing. Sad. We have no ability to compromise. We have no ability to resolve issues. Can't even face issues when presented. It's no, people don't think. I don't even know why I got out of bed today. So nothing ever works the way you think. Never. The things that are important are not important. And the things people make important are not important. We turn little problems into big ones. And big problems become little. Mountains get reduced to molehills, and molehills turn into mountains. It's never what you think, it's always the opposite. Always the opposite. And the shit's starting to piss me off because the only person I can blame is the fucking baby boomers. Can't blame the children. A big joke. I don't advertise. I don't need to. I don't need to sell what I'm doing. Sells itself. I said your parents were full of shit. I said the baby boomers are full of fucking shit. I said the education's full of shit. I said most people got brown eyes because they're full of fucking shit. And constipation is what 70-something% of people suffer from, and digestive tract failure, right up there, and one of the leading causes for death. People full of shit. Isn't that fucking amazing? Is that why they got brown eyes? Because they're full of shit? There's not even a word for how disgusted I am. I've been looking for one. Can't find one. Came to understand that community is an illusion. Nurses and doctors and law enforcement agencies or officers are not hired from within the community. They're hired from outside of the community. That way, the professionals have no affiliations with local community. There's no emotional ties, nothing personal. It's just good business for me to tell you fucking cheap tricks and whores that you're full of shit up to your eyeballs. That's why a majority of people have brown eyes. They're brown-eyed wonders, full of shit, suffering from constipation. And what they need is a mushroom trip so they can detox. They're fucking toxic. Trump said it was a great idea if everybody was injected with bleach. Would that make brown-eyed people go away? Would they just disappear because of bleach? I mean, the things of leadership is absolutely amazing. What people will fucking sit there and turn a blind eye to, and the people that said it, fuck, let's vote for them. I did a double stream yesterday. Streamed 5 hours on YouTube, and then I turned around and took that 5-hour stream that I manufactured on YouTube, streamed it on Facebook. Got about 1,000 views. Couldn't even get a conversation out of the cheap tricks, whores, and prostitutes. All I could do was thumb it. Like, that's going to do something. Isn't that amazing? You can't comment on YouTube Thomas. Well, I see you here. I see you on Facebook. Do you think I do as I do because I'm fucking stupid? The entropy, the indifference, proof of intelligence, signs of intellect. We're conditioned to think that going to school is going to make you more intelligent. It's not actually the case. The longer you're in the education system, the more corrupt you become. You become corrupted by it. You don't sound like you anymore. You sound like someone other than you. And that's the trouble with surrounding yourself with liars. Eventually, you sound just like them. You might need a channel. Yeah, I think you have to be over 18 to comment on my videos, so I'm pretty sure you might need a channel. You opted out of the natural in favor for the artificial. You favor artificial everything, artificial intelligence, artificial news, artificial fabrics, clothing, inks, dyes. You favor transhumanism and cloning and no longer favor natural birth. It's forfeit. It's not the way of the future. You see, the majority of people favor the artificial. They like the fake food. They like the fake sugar. They like the fake news. They like the fake people. They like the fake smiles they get when they go around in public. They enjoy the fakeness. I don't. I hate fucking people who smile at me and act like they're my friend and behind my back plotting against me. They'll never plot against me in front of my face. And I talk all kinds of trash in front of people's faces. I don't do it behind your back. I'm smarter than that. I got bigger balls than that. I do it to your face. And that's probably why I'm one of the most censored people in America. Because I'll tell you to get fucked to your face. I won't tell you your sister about it or your mother. I'll tell you to get fucked to your face. I'll cut you off just like that. And if I cut you off, that's it for you. I'll watch you burn. I wouldn't piss on you. I'll sit back in my lawn chair and watch you burn. Because that's what most neighbors are good for. Watching each other burn. We like suffering. People like suffering. They enjoy it. I realized without suffering from something, you'll never learn from it. Suffering is a teacher, pain. And medication covers up suffering and pain. So if the medication covers up the traumas and the pain, the person, the victim, can never heal from the trauma or the pain because the medication masked it, covered it up. They didn't actually deal with it. They medicated for it for life. Great atrocity occurs when people think they're doing the right thing. And sadly, most people don't think. It's against the law. And it's not just thinking, it's accuracy of thought. Everybody can think, everybody can speak, but most people are not accurate. Most people are emotional. Most people speak lies deliberately for a profit. I tell the truth deliberately to watch you squirm because of it. You're not going to say anything. And I know that already. How do I know that? Experience. And I'm tagging hundreds of people. Every day I do this. One against many, many against one. Isn't it amazing the lack of response from the educated society? Where's all the smart people at? Why are they so silent and obedient? Is education just there for making you obedient? Are you obedient to a dog whistle? Where are all the smart people at? We don't have any. I keep trying to force that point. We really don't have any smart people. We have obedient ones. We have obedient breeders. Isn't that accurate? We don't have any thinkers. We have cheap labor. You hear that? Most people are illiterate. I'm not illiterate. I said most people are illiterate, and no one said anything about it. Amazing. And I don't have a high school degree. And I'm really looking for all the smart people to have a response for this, but I bet $1 preemptively you motherfuckers would keep your whore ass mouth shut. My $1 bought your soul. You think you're so goddamn smart. These fucking cheap tricks don't have a response for that one. Sitting silent makes you my hoe bag. We're playing a whole other game here, children. Watch, they won't speak. You gotta have your balls screwed on pretty tight to be saying shit like that, preemptively wagering on it, patting yourself on the back before you go live and not after. Good job, doggy. Way to silence these bitches, dogs in heat. Buck. They don't have any. That's all I got. Buck. Some people can speak. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Everyone can speak, but very few can speak accurately or literately. There's no accuracy in their speech patterns. Lack of response is a fucking response. I'm not impressed with your fucking silence. Doesn't make you smart. It makes you obedient. You're hiding something. And I'll figure it out. I'll extract it from you. You'll confess it on your own terms without even realizing it. People like telling on themselves. And I excelled in English when I was 13 years of age. I was given a master's for mental manipulation in 2012. I've done over $5 million in sales myself, personally, in my lifetime between houses and cars. Can't make shit up. Now I decide to sit at home and sell video games, so I don't have to deal with the majority of fucking people. I actually don't like anyone. Am I supposed to like you? You haven't done anything to make me think otherwise. I fucking hate people. I don't trust people. They're liars. Motherfucking liars. It's all comes out of your fucking mouth. Lies. Sitting silent is gonna do what? Change my mind? Shit. Silence is consensual. You're gonna learn that here. I'll operate under the assumption that you're consenting to everything that comes out of my mouth through your fucking silence. There's my mode of operation. What are they going to do? Nothing? What are they going to say? Nothing? Makes life easier, don't it? Made my life easier. That's why I share these things. Shit. If I was worried about your fucking feelings and goddamn concerns, I'd never get anything done. If I had to explain myself to every single fucking one of you, I'd run out of time. And I value my time more than your fucking life. How you feel about it? I don't give a fuck. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's what you can count on the good people for. Nothing. You can't expect from them anything. All they give you is fucking lies, political propaganda, PP, pay. I've been on this PP kick. Power to pay, pay, Le Pew, pay. Political propaganda, pay. Political parties, pay. Professional people, persons, policies, procedures, protocols pushed by propagandists, pay. You guys sound so smart now, don't you? Take all the PP away, they ain't got nothing to fucking say. Take the paper, and passports away. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves. Right? If you weren't chasing for money, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. chasing the papyrus, paper. Who owns the papyrus? The papacy? Papa? Papa sounds like paper, huh? No. Take the paper away, and they wouldn't know what to do any day of the week. And when I'm talking about paper, I'm talking about money, art, religion, books, all of it. The newspaper. Let's take all that shit away. Strip them of paper. Take it away. Let's go digital. Let's shut the power grid down. Back to Stone Ages, motherfucker. World War III will be fought with nukes and bombs, and World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. We're going tribal. Thanks to the support of community. Which there isn't any. That's why we're going back to tribal wars. Isn't that great? Due to cults of clashing personality, there will never be a resolution that benefits everybody. Conspiracy, huh? See, they perpetuate war so they can manage the herd. You know, the cattle. The human chattel. These internationalists and royals, these monarchs, they got together one day and they realized, wow, instead of taking care of our people, we can hire 1/3 of them to kill 1/3 of them. Well, 1/3 sits silently and watches and says nothing about the situation at all. Isn't that amazing? And everybody's just doing their job. And I'm not supposed to take it personal because they're doing their job. Motherfucker, you picked your job. So yes, I do take it personal. Because you're doing the job that you applied for. You physically went out and got that fucking job. I don't give a shit if you're just doing your fucking job. You picked the job. Own your shit. If you cannot confess fault or admit wrong or admit silly little things like I have a license to lie in my pocket, gives me permission to lie. If you can't admit that to yourself, then I have nothing further for you. And that's the big problem. It's always about personal accountability. This always boils down to you. Taking personal responsibility for you. And what did COVID do? try to strip you of your right to self-governance? Do you really need a governor? A babysitter? If you have a governor, then you're not really free, are you? You have a plantation overseer. And that's kind of what I am. I'm a seer. I see things. I see right through it. They can't make up their own words. They can't generate their own spells. And they cannot look at English in reverse. It confuses their programming. Aleister Crowley taught me all about backmasking and reading English in reverse. It's considered satanic, reading English from left to right. But if you don't understand what your enemy is doing, then your enemy is going to walk all over you. God dog, stop pots, love evil, evil love. Did you know that English is dog Latin? It's a lesser state of Latin. It's not pure Latin. It's a derivative of Latin and a mixture of Hebrew and Sumerian Sanskrits and all kinds of other languages. Essentially, it's a dog language. That's what you need to understand. English is a dog tongue, a slave language created by kings so they could control their slaves. And who created this English tongue, this dog Latin? Was it the Vatican? Was it the church? Because this English is not indigenous to any fucking landmass. Are you too stupid to comprehend the words coming out of my mouth? You know, some men will only believe things when they hear it from a cunt or a vagina. They can't take it seriously when they hear it from another dick. Isn't that amazing? Dick always wants to compete with Dick in a cock measuring fight, you know? Some sort of trophy contest. It's crazy. They'll neither affirm or deny anything that comes out of my mouth. Never wasn't this way, always was this way, will continue to be this way. Was this way yesterday, will be this way today, will be this way tomorrow too. Hey everybody, it's Groundhog's Day. And I'm getting really fucking good at it. You should be scared. Whoa, you thought Bill Murray had it going on? I'm somewhere between Lawnmower Man and Rain Man without a stutter. Somewhere in between there. And I can't tell if it's a gift or a curse to preemptively know what's going to happen before it happens. Due to precognitive ability. Psychic powers. Oh, it's a conspiracy. No, I have an internal dialogue and I hear myself internally before I express myself externally. I don't trust any one of you. You're not trustworthy. Sorry. Not sorry. That comes from 25 years of experience dealing with people. People are not trustworthy. And they'll take it personally. What can I expect from people? Silence, indifference, and oppositional force. They're not working for me, so they're working against me naturally. It's easy when it's one against many and many against one. And I keep telling people I don't have any competition. I say things, they don't say anything. It's amazing. I think it's magical. Magic. You know what their silence does for me personally? Peace of mind. Gives me peace of mind. I said it was on my mind, and I'm at peace with it. I expect no action on my words. And you can define people through words versus actions. Words actually don't mean anything. There's no value in anything that I'm saying right now. It means nothing. That's what most people are afraid of, is being nothing. Becoming nothing. Because they got to be something. They can't be nothing. They got status, they got station, they got titles, they got rank of nobility. They got platforms and plateaus that they stand over the top of everybody and look down on everybody. And oh, we're better than everybody because we can look down on you from the top of our fancy buildings. So we're kind of like your God. Isn't that shit hysterically funny? That's how they think. And then I come by and I give a good tank on their floor mat. And their foundation, they found out it wasn't solid. They weren't standing on anything solid. And that floor mat you thought I was, I stood up and said, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. And that offended you and caused your reality to buckle and implode. Soul shattering. And I did it for $1. Do you really think I care about money? I want to see you squirm. Go run. Tell your friends all about me. Matthew traumatized me. Oh, Matthew hurt my feelings. Oh! And I realized one day, wow, geez, if they're just reacting to words, then they can be led by words. Isn't that interesting? If you're reacting to language, then you can be led by language. You thought you were fishing, but I was leading. You thought you were hooking, but I was sending you a feel. You caused an attack, and I caused a deflection to occur. You said I was fucking stupid. I said thank you, and it offended you. Your spells were deflected, and now you imploded. You have no defense for deflection, reflection, refraction of light. You can't even look in the mirror and say, I'm the problem. I did it to me. No, that's uncomfortable. And this is why I believe that the fool is protected from society. Society needs protection from the fool. Society has a tendency of sequestering fools because their language is offensive to the community and collective. So they got to sequester them for the protection of the herd. We can't have the herd hearing the fool. Then they all sound like the fool. And this would be a bad thing, not a good thing. We would lose control over everything. What a terrible idea. Losing control. And the control factor is hysterically funny because fools don't actually believe in control. Good people don't try to seek for power. It's only evil people trying to control other than themselves, narcissists, through sympathy magic and feel sorry for me, I'm a victim mentality. Where'd everyone go? Right? Due to cults of clashing personalities, suffering illiteracy, majority have a hard time with English comprehension and vocabulary literally. They don't have time for etymology, logomachy, the definitions of their words, simply reacting to noise and frequency. The reality society suffering cannot be resolved due to cults of clashing personality. The result, reality society is held hostage by the two-party tyranny, controlled opposition. The two-party system makes a profit off of hurting everybody. The medical mafia decided healthcare policies for everybody. The two-party system bought off quietly by the pharmaceutical industry. Nobody say anything, everybody. The irony, the education system there to prove your ability to conform, everybody. Your degrees are evidence of your obedience in reality. I wrote that. What are you going to do? Sit silent to it? Deaf, dumb, and mute? Stupid fucking dog? I even gave it to you in a rap formation. Holy shit, that was 24 bars. It's alright, right? Where's shit coming from? Holy fuck. Where you going with that? School? Run for president? No one's had a response for that yet either. They just sit silent to it. That was 4 days ago, and still no responses. This was yesterday, and there was no responses. To be or not to be, busy little bee, you need to know there's only one kingdom, kingdom of the bee. You either will be, won't be. There's no middle bee. I know you either will be or you won't be. Don't buzz me, busy little bee. Nothing is as it appears to be, little bee. You need to see a bee sees as a bee sees. There's only one king bee. Nothing is as it appears to be, busy little bee. The irony, busy little bee, no one cares about the population of the bee. Nothing's pre-assumed as you assumed it to be, busy little bee. Nothing is as you want it to be, busy little bees. Always hiding from negativity, busy little buzzing bees. Nothing turns out to be the way you want it to be, buzzing busy little bees. I need you to know, buzzing busy little bees, this is the king of the bees, and that's the bee's knees. I know you can't believe I'm the king of the bees. I'm a bee that knows and sees, a bee sees. The Roman Emperor Charlemagne wore a bee as an insignia, busy little bee. I know nothing is as you think it should be, could be, busy little bee. I know that many fail to remember the spelling of the bees. Busy little bees need to know king bees fry for nobody, busy little bee. This is the kingdom of the bees. This is the running of the bees. I know this, notice and know this sounds the same. It's the bee's knees, busy little bee. I am king of the bees, busy little bees. Nothing is as it seems to be, buzzing busy little bees. Nothing is as it sounds to be. Nothing is as it smells or appears to be. I know the irony is, buzzing busy little bee. I know the truth, trust nobody. Not even me, king of the bees. You're going to be or not be, and there's no other way to be. I know that I choose to be over not to be, busy little bee. The king of the bees is a spelling, busy little bee. I am that I am the king of the bees. And no, I'm not the editor of the Babylonian bee. The king bee knows there are many kinds of bees in the kingdom of bees. I recognize that the king of bees doesn't please any of the busy little bees. I recognize that without the bees, there wouldn't be any kind of kingdom, which is why this is the kingdom of the bees. I know that this is the bee's knees. I know at the end of the day, you either will be or you won't be, but the question to be or not to be, and most choose not to be. I know, busy little bee, if you're not buzzing because of me, then silently consenting to the king of the bees. I know at the end of the day, you either will be or you won't be. Speak, don't speak. Question comes to be or not to be. What you're going to do, say nothing? Nothing? Say nothing, do nothing, become the thing that you are afraid of. Nothing. Not wild. It's quantum physics. You're either going to speak or you won't speak. You're either going to be something or you're going to be nothing. And most people terrified of being nothing. They got to be something. And I'm looked at and told that I'm nothing and I'm something, a one and not a zero. Rooted in 9, 1 and 9 are equals, and it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. The two-party system will never be able to resolve a third-party conflict. The binary system has no solution for a trinary conflict. I recognized everything about reality is three ways and not two. Sitting silent is consent. So I'm not impressed with your silence. I'm going to insult the fuck out of it. And you at the same time. Think you're smarter than me? Sit silent like a dog, a bitch in heat with a fucking muzzle on. That's where my level of respect's at. You're either going to speak or you're going to say nothing at all. Whoa! So that divides society into two classes. Those that can speak and those that can't speak. And if you can't talk, I don't want anything to do with you. Can't trust you. Isn't that amazing? Boom! Separated the wheat from the chaff. Those that can speak from those that can't speak. Speak or don't speak. If you choose not to speak, then know that you are in the guilty party. And there's no mercy for the guilty. You're automatically guilty. Assumed guilty. Just like Fauci. There's no reason Fauci got a preemptive pardon. Innocent people don't get preemptive pardons. I assume through your silence you are guilty. Silence makes you guilty. Mercy is for the innocent. The silent are not innocent. The ones that choose to keep their mouth shut, they're the guilty. Isn't that an amazing thing to understand? Speak, don't speak. Silent and you're assumed guilty. What an interesting technique, right? And I've adopted this and applied it and pushed it for 25 years. Silence makes you guilty. And the truth, slow to get around, moves like molasses, moves silently, moves without no notice or warning. When it takes up ground, it never loses it. When it speaks, there's no arguing with it, no compromise. When it gains territory, doesn't lose it. You were on a square. I don't care which square you were on. You are on a square, and you're not on that square anymore. Board got fucked up. It's personally entertaining. And the square you were on, it's my square now. I'm standing on it. You moved the fuck out of my way. And that's all I wanted you to do in the first place. Get the fuck out of my way. Did you hear me? Or are you deaf? And see, I'm laughing my ass off because I understand the order of law, law and order. First order of law is spoken law. Then it's universally agreed upon, and the dumb niggers write it down and worship it as a statute. You used to worship statues in 3D, and then you drop the T, statue out of the T, statue, statutes. You used to worship statues, now you worship the law and the order, the statutes, the shit written on paper, it's universally consented to. Sit is silent to me. That's first law. Man's first law is spoken law. I spoke the law, and they all sat silent to it. Isn't that amazing? Then there's written law, international law, law of cause and effect, law of observation, law of trade, law. The law is the wall used to divide. That's why wall is in law. And law is an acronym for land, air, and water. Let's add an E for the ether and call it a fucking whale. Water, air, land, ether. You took the ether out of the equation 100 years ago. I added it back in personally 30 years ago. Figured it out for myself, you fucking cheap whores, you prostitutes, you goddamn pimps, fucking hoes. What? You're good people? Nah, you're liars. You're lying to yourself and you're going to try to lie to me. That ain't going to happen. See what happens when you come from the bottom up? Two mice fall into a bucket of cream. First mouse drowned on impact. Right away, drowned, died. Shock. Dead. Second mouse churned cream till it became butter. Built a staircase out of the fucking bucket, out of the jail. Got the fuck out of there. Survived. End of the story. Be the second mouse. Don't be the first one. This is why I keep saying over and over, there's no educators. They don't prepare you for reality. They prep you for prison. They condition you so they can make a profit off you your entire life. So they can extract energy from you from the day you're born to the day you die for free. You ought to do free energy. It's like George Soros said, you will own nothing and be happy about it. Except for the reverse, you will own nobody and you will be happy. Sorry, but no man is the property of another man. And I'm telling men all they need to do is shrug their fucking shoulders. And the whole thing stops. House cards comes crashing in because you just shrug your shoulders. Isn't that amazing? Think about Atlas. He's got the whole goddamn world on his back. Struggling to hold the world together. For what? Why the fuck would Atlas do that? The hell did the world do for Atlas? Nothing. As soon as men respect themselves, the motor of industry dies. Society fucking dies. Shrug your shoulders. Stand up. Shrug your shoulders. You don't respect the smartest and the brightest. You don't applaud merit. Society feeds off the labors of singular individuals, singularity, singular, one nigger. One guy figures it out, then everybody feeds off that one guy. Now, one guy sits there and thinks it's the right thing to do to let the society around him feed off of him. Is it? Is it the right thing to do to be a fucking food source for the people around you? They don't care if you live or fucking die. Caring about people that don't care about you, that's fucking madness. Buying Christmas presents for people that you don't give a fuck about because society expects it from you, that's madness. Right? Buying presents for people so you can gain favor with them, that's fucking insanity. And think of all the money you save when you decide, I'm not buying presents for anyone. Not even yourself. Whoa. Well, that changes everything, doesn't it? Commercialism and consumerism, buying and selling on holidays, gift wrapping and packaging, all that madness gone. You're not getting caught up in any of the holiday propaganda because you don't do holidays. And what would these people do without their holidays? They wouldn't know what to do. I took their holidays away. I took the paper away. And remember, last operator of the universe, my daddy was in the paper mill industry for 40 years. And apparently society doesn't think I know anything about the grades or shaded states of paper. I can't tell the difference in grain of paper. I'm ignorant. I'm dumb. I don't know what my daddy knows. I don't know anything at all. Stupid fuck, suffering from a psychosis because your house is full of my daddy's paper and I want you to burn it. My daddy's already in your house. Ain't that madness right there? My daddy's already in every one of your fucking houses. And it's a competition between me and my daddy. My daddy's paper and my voice over the airwaves. Guess what? I'm fucking winning these days. Holy shit. Take away the paper. They'd be like a bunch of monkeys hanging around a black box. What is this thing? I'm reminded of Waterworld with Kevin Costner, and there was a scene where the two ruffians in the movie were bartering and trading for different things. And one guy says to the other guy, I got paper! He was so ecstatic to have a piece of paper. They hadn't seen paper in hundreds of years. And I'm sitting here going, wow, if we took the paper away, we took the money away, we took books away, we took the newspaper away, we took the paper away, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. He got bored, so he created board games. Isn't that funny? And board games are made out of layers of paper. The board itself is made out of compressed layers of paper. Paper. And then yesterday, I said this. I said, child, when you go to university, you're going to find a teacher there. And that teacher's going to read out a textbook. That textbook wasn't written by a teacher. It was written by a third person, about a third person, by a third person, from a ghostwriter. So you can't even guarantee who wrote the scripture that you're repeating. You have no idea. And all you're going to get is political conjecture, theories, ideologies, and someone else's ego. And none of it was factual. Because that's the one thing they leave out of the institutions of higher learning: factual information. And I'm the dumb digger to figure that out for myself. Yep. Darwin warned you about me and people like me. Some of us don't crack under pressure. And some of you crack like nuts under pressure. It's amazing. It's just figuring out how to apply the pressure and then squeeze. Kind of like a viper wrapped around your neck, like that dog collar. All I got to do is give it a good tug. The noose is already there. Just got to pull on it. So I supplied everything. I didn't need to supply anything. I used your materials against you. I used your dogma against you. I twisted your propaganda and shoved it back down your throat. Your reactions are confessions about your egos and your disposition from your university professors. Most people don't know where they begin and their outside influences end. And half the time you're repeating, and half the time you're thinking. And you can't tell the difference if you're repeating or thinking. How would you know? You all sound the same. What kind of world is this? Everybody sounds the same. Is that a world you want to be a part of? Everybody walks, talks, sounds, thinks, speaks the same? Madness. That's fucking madness. Should we dress up half the world in red suits and the other half in blue suits, and we'll have a zoot suit riot? A cut of war for all the ages, red versus blue. Wouldn't that be easier if everybody was color coded and we would know if you're positive or negative because of your clothing? We could politically identify you as accentuating to the positive or to the negative, to the masculine or the feminine, based on the color of clothing that you're wearing. Huh? Western Empire is red, so God is red to the Western Empire. The Eastern Empire is blue, so God is blue to the Eastern Empire. And it's the red God versus the blue God. Which one's coming out on top? Huh? You don't know what to think about that color code. You don't know how to feel about it because you were terminated to the black or white ink. Did I red flag you? Want to charge me like a Red Bull? Are you suffering some sort of depression or blues because the words coming out of my mouth? Maybe envy, so you're sitting silent because you're envious? Aren't you glad to hear me? You got a belly cunts? Or maybe you might be plum purple. I don't know. There's no color code happening here at all. You don't give yourself away with your emotional reactions. It's all conspiracy. Madness. Yeah. Till you start realizing differently things. For example, you're not the light. You're the darkness, and you shed light into a dark world. I cause light to occur with my speech pattern, Sparky. And that shines out of the dark. So the people in the dark, dumb, deaf, dying, ignorant, didn't know. Now they do know. They saw the light. Realization then occurred. And then they had to run from the light. Now, why? People say they want light, but they always run from the light. It shocks them, traumatizes them. Why is that? Well, that's because truth is lie and lie is truth. The schools give you ideologies, theories, opinions that are not factual in basis. The American Misinformation Disinformation Program, Public Indoctrination, William Casey, the American Information Program will be complete when its basis of misinformation and disinformation, the average belief system of the average American, would be based on false ideologue, false belief. Truth is lie, lie is truth. There's no profit in truth. That's why they don't teach it. Does it profit the system or government for you to learn the truth about reality at all? Once you understand reality for what it is, look around. They lost control over you. They've been controlling you your whole life, man. Look what happens when they come in here, man. They lose their shit. They can't get a reaction from me that they want. They don't get anything that they want. They get nothing. You give nothing, you get nothing. You get what you give. And that's a principle that most of you will never comprehend. This world gives you what you give it. Isn't that wild? The more I started to understand this, the funnier it got for me. Oh, you're going to give me a hard time? The world's going to give you a hard time. That's karma. Because I understand I get what I give you, the truth. And what are you going to do? Sit silent, refuse to confess it, deny it, turn a blind eye to it, act like I said nothing? May as well talk to a brick wall. See, I'm exposing you to something right now. Your inability to speak is your karma. My ability to perpetually speak is because of my karma. I should say lack of fear. Lack of fear? Lack of fear. It's fear that keeps people's mouths shut. Fear. Man, once you get over fear, whoa. Fear of what? Rejection? People saying no to you? TPV Sean. Japan officially names COVID mRNA vaccine most deadly drug in history of humankind. In a stunning declaration, Japanese scientists have labeled COVID-19 vaccines the most deadly drug in the history of medicine, asserting that the individuals responsible for this global health crisis must be prosecuted. Recent investigations have revealed alarming connections between COVID mRNA vaccines and significant spikes in over 200 of the world's deadliest diseases. Japan's foremost researchers are issuing a grave warning. These vaccines are adversely affecting every conceivable aspect of human life. I want to take a moment to thank Dr. Fauci. Now we know why Joe Biden gave Dr. Fauci a preemptive pardon, everybody. Innocent people don't need preemptive pardons. Silence makes you guilty. Avoiding the problem makes you a part of the problem. Man. Madness, huh? And then through my own investigations, I came to understand that Fauci is one of the board of directors for NIAH. He's one of the bankers or backers or Patreons to that Institution for Medicine, the National Institute of American Health, NIAH. Fauci is one of its owners, right? So Fauci owns the NIAH, and Fauci controls the patents on the COVID testing strips and the HIV and the AIDS. And the testing strips between HIV, AIDS, and COVID are essentially the same, just in a different packaging or labeling, branding. They marketed it a little different. They changed the packaging. Essentially, it's the same test, just a little bit more modern. And really, this testing tool was not a testing tool. It was not for diagnosis. It was for prognosis. It was for extracting information from the victim. They were after a living sample of your DNA. All you need is 2 cells to clone a person. So now we're talking about genome mapping, so they can make a carbon copy of you. Should we have concerns about cloning and copying people? How long have we been doing it? It's a fair question, I think. Longer than most people would realize, I can tell you that. I can prove that we were doing it 100 years ago. Some people suspect longer. But I can turn around to a stream to prove what I already know right now. Hey, we've been cloning people for a while. A lot longer than you think. Cloning. Then there I saw this movie called Selfless. And it was all about transferring the consciousness of an old person into a new body. Transferring the soul from one body to another. At what point do we stop playing God? You know? Witchcraft, magic, sorcery, science, technology. Oh. And things are going to perpetually get stranger and stranger. until you're going to have to talk about it. It's like AA. Eventually, the majority of people are going to realize that both parties are lying to them. And that neither party cares about all-inclusive issues, water, land, air, environment, death rates surpassing birth rates. No one gives a shit about this. Hyperinflation, devaluation of the dollar, devaluation of man's labor. No one gives a fuck about any of it. The people are supposed to, don't. I haven't heard this yet. It's just coming in. I have a lot of respect for this woman. Thank you, Sabrina Wallace. She's about as censored as I am. You know, she gets about as much censorship as I do. She understands the computers, and she worked on the inside of IBM for a while. She has a different language set because of her background. No one actually is going to sound the same, and that's a result of experience, your trade, your occupation, your profession, what you're doing for a living. And everybody's going to say things differently because of their backgrounds, because of their experiences, because of what they see, because of what they saw. We have a lot of things unfolding right now in the future. I don't know how therapists and psychologists are going to deal with any of it. UFOs, Bigfoot, all of these things being admitted by the government, and it's out on public record now. You know, you used to be called Lulu if you saw a UFO. Now the government is telling you that they've been exchanging information with an underwater civilization for the last 70, 80 years. What are you supposed to think or do? Go along with the crowd? Stay at home and masturbate? Say something or nothing?
My people about the psionic abilities and that remote viewers were tethered underground to IBM. That's how you get 50 years of a digital twin with the Pentagon. And I said these remote viewing people lied about coordinates. That's what we use the DTIC grids for. With things like the sentient world simulation that was upgraded to the global information grid. Why? Logging into bodies. Body area networks were started in 1995. Right after your Project Stargate CIA bullshitting each other ended. They had tested the psionic abilities, telepathy, empathy, precognition. Those of you that wanted to be special, you told people it was only you and you're a remote viewer. You might work for the government, maybe not. Nobody would believe you. Everyone made fun of you. Yeah. And a lot more people got busy with human augmentation and body area networks because those body area networks were already there. That's how you had a digital twin tethered to an underground IBM system. The same IBMs we still have underground with something called SAGE radar and PAVE-POS missile defense right now today. Those same IBMs, underground computers, were around with the radar my dad worked on, a Huff Duff, in San Vito, Italy, and Misawa, Japan. AN/something, just like your AN/Spy7 with the Aegis information. That's missile defense. Welcome back to electronic warfare. Weaponizing the radar. Did you know that we have fully dominated the electromagnetic spectrum? It's called full spectrum dominance. Did you know that our current warfare doctrine is that full spectrum dominance? And did you know that the human body is on that electromagnetic spectrum? Underground to IBM. That's how you.
Full spectrum dominance. That's funny because my cable company is called Spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. Full light spectrum. Light prism. Yep. Eventually, you just get to a point. People can take their feelings and concerns and shove them right up their goddamn ass. They don't want us to understand that the basis of language is phonetics. Definitions of words, etymology, the root of the words, the meaning of the words. We're led by our emotional reactions and our assumptions to what the words mean, and it's never what we think they mean, it's always the opposite. Appearances are deceptive. People don't want to believe their ears. You react emotionally to the smells, the tastes, the touch, feelings are a result of your senses. This knowledge is not common, even though it's about common sense.
That must beg to go straight. I played it off and it kept straight. And not only did it keep straight, it really moved up and down. What happens if you make a ring?
Keen magnetic fields could be impressed or printed on certain materials using a magnetizer, a device common to shops and factories that use magnets.